Alright, welcome to the channel, guys. Andrew for life, and we're here to watch Tucker
Welcome
Carlson.
to Tucker Carlson tonight. So here's a weird story, so many of those these days. If you were anywhere near the Supreme Court in Washington this past spring, you may have seen a black box truck with New Jersey plates and a billboard on the side parked by the side of the road. Here's the truck. In case you can't read the message, it says, "Breyer, retire. It's time for a black woman Supreme Court."
I was just about to say, why does it sound like he has a problem with black, and then he just dug right back into the black thing. So let's see where he's going with this. Probably going to be racist. Listen, guys, Tucker Carlson is he is a vaccinated man who tells people not to get vaccinated. You know, when he goes to court, because people take his like legal advice too far or whatever, they get sued all the time. And Fox News will have to say that it's entertainment in a court of law, not actually news. And so, you know, just understand, guys, this is not a good news source. This is rough. In the first 29 seconds, I've already gotten some heavy racial vibes. And I don't understand why. Can this guy not just tell a normal news story? I don't normally check into his news stories. I know that the last one was about M&Ms. I skipped that.
Court justice. There's no time to waste. Those billboards were funded by a group of progressive Democrats called Demand Justice, which weirdly enough is run by an extremely white guy called Brian Fallon, which is a little strange if you think about it. If Brian Fallon is so passionate about giving leadership roles to black women, why hasn't he resigned from his job and given it to one? You wonder that about a lot of people, Joe Biden, for example. In any case, you got to hand it to Brian Fallon. Either he...
Okay, I wasn't against that. I'm not against that. Like he's saying, you know, why don't we just uplift minorities if we're actually about that? I'm not against that at all. So, okay, I'll give Tucker Carlson that one.
He is remarkably prescient, or someone in power was listening to him.
With my limited knowledge.
Just this morning it was announced that Stephen Breyer is indeed retiring from the Supreme Court. Now, you'll notice the passive construction there. It was announced, because Breyer himself did not announce his retirement. It's not even clear Breyer knew the announcement was going to happen. Someone leaked that news with or without Justice Breyer's consent. They didn't wait for him to do it himself. Why? Well, because Democrats understand they're likely to lose the Congress this November. They want to control Breyer's seat while they still can. So what are they going to do with that seat? We don't need to guess. Joe Biden was very clear about his plans nearly 2 years ago as he was running for president. He didn't tell us what he was going to do about COVID or foreign policy or the economy, but he was very precise about the Supreme Court. Here's Biden in March of 2020 on the debate stage at CNN.
I committed that if I'm elected president and have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the courts. My cabinet.
You almost got the impression that Joe Biden believes all black women are the same. They're identical. It was certainly the assumption in the Delaware of Joe Biden's youth 60 years ago. Biden doesn't seem to have changed much. You wonder if anyone sitting there in CNN's audience that night even noticed this. It's possible we've all marinated for so long in the casual racism of affirmative action that it seems normal now to reduce human beings to their race. But imagine if this was happening to you, how would you feel? You go to law school, you win a clerkship, you get a seat on some lower court. One day you're nominated to be one of the top 9 judges in the country, and you're proud of that. Why wouldn't you be?
Okay, listen, guys. This is ridiculous. I'm not going to play anymore because I don't need to. All right? This guy is so divisive, right? He is definitely being divisive. And, like, he's speaking like someone who's just, like, finalized all these things. Like, yep, this is the way. This is the only possible way. And it's like, well, you know, okay, hold on. When intellectual people, not me, people I've seen who are intellectuals, what they do is they take your information and they like run it through a process and like compare it to other information. And then like if nothing matches, okay, they like are very open-minded, or if something matches, they speak up about it right there. And then you have to address it or they won't move forward. That's pretty much how I've seen smart people handle conversations and how I try to. And I just feel like this is a guy who is not willing to process any new information. This is someone who is just ready to argue with you, who is just reiterating Biden's mistakes over and over. I will appoint a black woman to court. He's like, they're like playing on this narrative almost, trying to be like Joe Biden is the racist one, even though the left is anti-racist. But weirdly, he's kind of being racial while doing it and not being sensitive at all with his diction, with his etiquette. Okay, so I am just like, and then like obviously Joe Biden's not the best president. So what? Now Fox, this is what Fox News does, so it's just low-hanging fruit. So you're literally, you bash CNN and all these other news organizations for picking the low-hanging fruit with Donald Trump. But then what do all the conservative media outlets do? They just bash Biden and take the low-hanging fruit. You know, it's just so like divisive and toxic, you know what I mean? Like I want Tucker Carlson to be like, here's how you guys can like not support this one aspect that's bad, and let's focus on that and do a good job and be good people about it. Instead, he makes all these outrageous claims and he kind of like calls to action, and like, you know, his whole career has been very controversial for sure. And I just think he is like perpetuating a long line of racism and uneducated takes and stubbornness. I think that's what he perpetuates, because it's clear that the guy isn't willing to talk about modern day racism, modern day slavery. When they have these people on, they just call them communist, hippies, or Democrats, and that's it. You know, they don't even treat outside opinions like real opinions. And that's fine. Let's say that they never consider an outside opinion. Guys, at the rate we're going with capitalism and the anti-work movement, and the rate that we're going with the wealth disparity, with Amazon being $1 trillion company now, you know, quadrupling their money since COVID. Basically every company in America quadrupled their money since COVID, and nobody got a fucking raise. And all those essential workers like me who worked at Domino's for 3 years, yeah, we got shit on while we got COVID and risked our lives for like shit pay. So like, I think Tucker Carlson's just disconnected. He's just a voice that's paid well. I'm sure most people already understand this, but if you don't, boom, I helped you. I would just advise anybody, if they watch Fox News primarily, to also fact check these people and don't just be okay when these guys just start saying stuff. I bet I could play this clip. I haven't done this in preparation. I bet I could just play this clip at any point and he'll just be rambling about something that probably doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe it doesn't happen, but we'll see.
Your parents are proud. Your friends are proud. But Joe Biden, all Joe Biden can talk about is your skin color. Patronizing? That doesn't even begin to describe what this is. This is exactly what reduces human beings to their race. But imagine if this was happening to you, how would you feel? You go to law school, you win a clerkship, you get a seat on some lower court. One day you're nominated to be one of the top 9 judges in the country, and you're proud of that. Why wouldn't you be? Your parents are proud. Your friends are proud. But Joe Biden, all Joe Biden can talk about is your skin color. Patronizing? That doesn't even begin to describe what this is. This is exactly why decent Americans hate.
Okay. So, it made sense. So I was wrong. He didn't just ramble about complete nonsense. It made sense. It was wrong. I can understand what he's saying. It wasn't just, I was expecting him to be like, that part about your friends, your family, like I was expecting just bullshit like that. Okay, like, you know, what he said was obviously an opinion, but, and in my opinion it was wrong, but, listen, he is right there speaking, he's speaking for a black person though. Like, if a black person says, you're using my race in a patronizing way, then stop using their race in a patronizing way. But if a black person is fine with you mentioning their race, they're encouraging it for good reasons, then maybe it's not like the narrative that you're proposing it is. And I haven't even, looked into this. I just heard that little snippet and just made that comment off that. It's just like, I don't even know how he can comment for other people. It's like maybe if the guest was on and like shaking her head in confirmation as he said this stuff, it would be different. But no one's even, he's just speaking for people now. Listen, guys. Obviously, I'm super critical and biased against this, there's no doubt. But my bias, okay, I used to consume a lot of Fox. I used to be majority conservative. So you got to understand, I am biased, but it's because I really care about this stuff in my free time and look into it and look into the arguments, the heart of the arguments. And, I try to pick the right side, morality-wise, okay? And I've said it on the channel before, I'm a Christian, so my morals align with Christianity a lot. But morality speaking, or morality-wise, like speaking on those terms, I just think Tucker Carlson is not good for the society. He's more toxic and decisive than he is helpful and insightful. He doesn't promote empathy. He doesn't promote perspective change. He doesn't promote, like challenging yourself or others in a healthy way. This is all just like debate lord Andy shit, Reddit Andy shit. And it's, just be careful, guys. Be careful about where you get your news. Obviously I have a bias. Obviously Tucker Carlson has a bias, but you can form your own opinion by doing your own research. And I think that everyone should do that. And I encourage it because ultimately that would better our societies tremendously. The more you educate yourself on what's going on, the better our society gets. So, yeah. Just think about it like that, guys. And I just want to make this video and pop in and then pop out. Andrew for life. Like, subscribe for the algorithm. Thank you. Peace.